Hey friends, my name is Missy and today I'm just going to show you a really quick video, I hope it's quick, on how I baby wear. This is something that I kind of struggled with my first baby. I love baby wearing. With my first baby I had really bad postpartum, so just having him close to me, on me, made me feel better. Now that I have a 2-year-old toddler and this little girl who is 5.5 weeks old now, it's more about just, I have to wear her to get things done. I can't, sit there on the couch, even though it's nice, and I do sit there on the couch and snuggle with her at sometimes. Other times I just need to wrap her so she can nap and I can get stuff done. And I've never really been a good napper person. I can never get my kids down for a nap. I lay them down, I snuggle them, walk away. 10 minutes they start crying, and I just don't have the time or patience, really. I need to work on my patience, but the back and forth just doesn't work for me. This, I basically, for the most part, unless I just want to chill on the couch, which I do in the morning sometimes, I put her in the wrap. If she's awake, I'll take her out. Right now she's passed out. I let her hang in here and I can cook, I can clean, I can pretty much do anything that I want to do for the most part with her wrapped up in here, all snug and tight. I have two main wraps that I like. This is the Soba wrap, Sobe wrap, and this is another one I have is a Boba wrap. This one is really thick. The fabric is very long and it fits like a t-shirt. So this is the one that I use the most with Paul. If I was to say to myself, again, being a new person baby wearing, I recommend this one. It's just very user-friendly, easy to use, it's stretchy. The fabric is a little bit longer. I'm a very tall person, I'm 5'11", so some of these other wraps, I run out of fabric, like the Sobe wrap. This just had a lot of fabric for me. And just a side note, like, why don't they sell baby wraps in different sizes? Like, no woman is the same size. I don't know if anybody else feels the same, but as far as I know, they all come in just one size, and when I just gave birth, both of these like barely fit me, but they do stretch. So I have this guy. I like to wear this one when I go out. The coverage is a lot bigger. The band is a lot bigger, so I can really like hide my baby, so to speak, which was great for the pandemic. So this one is stretchy, a little bit longer, very easy to use, and full coverage, very warm, as opposed to the one I'm wearing now. So this is the Sobe wrap, and it's more like linen. It doesn't have spandex in it, so it's not really gonna give. I struggled with this one for Paul. I think I used it a couple times, didn't really understand how to get him in there, so I just stopped using it. And then I was watching Farmhouse on Boone, where she was talking about wraps, and she was just saying this one has a learning curve, and that once you get the fit right and figure out how to do it, it's amazing, and I 100% agree with her. It's a lot lighter. It's a lot lighter for baby. It's a lot lighter for me. Right now it's about 75 degrees outside, so to hold a hot baby with like sweatshirt material on is a little intense. It wears very light, is the only way I can describe it compared to the other one. It's like wearing a sweatshirt, really. It's very easy to get the baby to stay snug because it doesn't have that give. It does stretch some. The first time I wash it, it's a little bit hard to put on, and then after I wear it a few times, it gives a little bit and I have more fabric to work with. But I prefer, right now, baby number 2, this Sobe wrap, because like I said, it's thinner and it's lighter, it's not as hot, and I like to wear this one with baby around the house. I only have one of these. I do have 2 of the Boba. The Sobe wrap, I don't think is on Amazon, and it was a little more pricey. The Boba wrap was on Amazon. I got one hand-me-down and I purchased one, and they were not as expensive, and they have different patterns and things. So I like having multiples in case they spit up or what have you. And now that I have the 2, they fit very, very differently. So if I were to have a very winter baby or it's a very cold baby, I might switch to the Boba. But since it's a hot day, I wear the Sobe. And before I show you how I wrap them, another thing I like to do is whenever I wear these, I like to wear a tank top underneath. So wearing them is very warm. I probably am just gonna do my thing around the house like this. But if I were to get cold, then I could just throw a cardigan on. And I do have I'll pop it up here, I think it was on Amazon, this fleece jacket that is awesome. You can use it as just a regular fleece jacket, and then it has a zip up piece in the middle. One, it flips one way when you're pregnant to accommodate your bump, and then there's another one that flips the other way to accommodate baby wearing, which is awesome. So I've used that numerous times already, which is really cool. So let me just get into how I put both babies on, and I'll show you the Sobe and the Boba wrap and how they look kind of different. Okay, so first off, I'm going to show you the Solly Baby wrap. So it's S-O-L-L-Y wrap. And all of these wraps have a tag in the very middle that you want to position over your bust. So how I find that is by getting the two tails and then finding my way back to the middle, finding that tag. I put it over my bust and then swing one piece over one shoulder, and then I put that middle wrap over it, swing it around the back, put it over the other shoulder. I try to separate these over my shoulders to make as wide of a band as possible. You can adjust it later, so you don't have to do that right now. Then I put that little tail under, so you can see I have a cross on the back and the band is over the straps in the front. So now I'm going to cross those front straps, and this is where you can get your fit really good. So for a newborn, like my daughter's only 10 pounds here, I want it pretty snug. For a larger baby, I'd leave a little bit more slack, especially with this wrap, because like I said, it's linen and there's really not much stretch to it. So then I pull those straps in front and I tie under my belly right now because I'm postpartum and that's how it's most comfortable. I stretch out as many of these pieces as I can because it's just more comfortable that way. I find if the fabric's all gathered together, it puts almost like a stress point, which I just find really uncomfortable. So now what I'm going to do is kind of stretch out these top straps, grab baby, and I'm going to put baby on the opposite shoulder that I want to put her in. So in this case, I'm going to put her in my left strap first, so I'm going to put her on my right shoulder. You can see that I still have a hand on her at all times. It's a little scary sometimes. You can have somebody spot you the first couple times you do it. Then I just snug her right in and have the strap go from the back of one knee to the back of the other across her whole bum, and then stick her in the other side. So you can see there's two pieces of fabric now over her bum, and you can just bounce if they're getting a little fussy. Take a break for a second. And then I take this front panel piece and it goes over their legs and it goes over their belly, kind of just to fully keep them in. So you can see she's snug in there, she's happy. Some babies are fussy at this point, but they all seem to kind of calm down after a couple minutes. You can also tuck their feet in if baby's like that. My daughter personally does not. You can see her pushing up. So I'll tuck her feet in if it's cold when she's asleep, but I usually just leave them out. So you can see I am just pulling on this fabric to try to spread it out as much as possible. It usually ends up covering up most of my back, but that's how I find this wrap in particular to be the most comfortable, is to have these straps stretched out as much as possible. So one of the things I really try to do when I wrap her that makes it very comfortable is I want her to be very high. You can see her head is very high, and then I really make sure that these straps are all pulled out on my back. You don't want if any of the straps are bunched up, it gives like a stress point and hurts your back a little bit. Well, it does to me anyway. So if you can see how much I pull those out. And one thing I do too is I take this strap here. So the one that I tie, I'm 5 weeks postpartum, so I put it below my flub because it weirdly just supports better than if I have it up higher. So that's why I do that. And then I'm just gonna keep her out. She's looking. If she wants to be awake, she can keep her little arm out. I can just bounce her. She's a little fussy right now, but she'll fall asleep soon. And then when she falls asleep, so I can be totally hands-free, I will put her little head in here. She doesn't like it though when she's awake, but yeah. And then I'll put her little arm in. I have this little flap up here. Usually I store like a pacifier or something in there, but she likes her head out when she's awake, so yeah. So that's wrapping in the Solly wrap. So let me just show you that one more time from a different angle. Again, this is the one that I really like wearing this time around with baby number 2, and this is the Solly baby wrap. I think I called it linen before. It's a cotton. There's no spandex in it, so it doesn't really stretch, which is good and bad. It does a really good job at holding baby. So I'm finding the two ends of the straps. I'm working my way back to the middle, and in the middle there is a little tag. It doesn't matter if it's up or down. I usually just have it up. I have no idea. It's some OCD I have. So you take that panel in the middle and you put it over I like to put it over my bust, swing one of those back over the shoulder, spread out a little bit, I'm going to call that the band. I put the band around my back, swing that side over, and then tuck that fabric into the band. So I have the band over the 2 straps in the front, and the 2 straps in the back make a cross over my back. At this point, this is where you get your fit, so you can really make this as snug or loose as you want. The smaller the baby, the snugger you want it, so that they're higher up on your chest. It's just better for your back, and it's better for baby safety. You don't want them hanging down really low. There's a whole bunch of safety rules on baby wearing. I'll find a link and put it in the description below if you want to check that out. Again, I'm not an expert. I'm just showing you how I have struggled with this for the last 2 pregnancies and 2 babies. So I will leave a link to that below. And here I am, I've got it tied up below my belly because I'm postpartum, it's more comfortable. And I'm stretching as many bands as I can right now in this wrap before I put baby in there. It's also really helpful to have somebody like a significant other pull those straps on your back to make them as wide as possible. So now the band that's closest to my chest, which is on my left hand side, I put baby on my right shoulder, open that left hand side strap open, put baby's little bum in there. I stretch it over from the back of both of her knees, and then I kind of put her leg into the other strap and now put that over her bum from the back of one knee to the back of the other, and then that band that goes across, I put her little legs in and pull that up. And then I just kind of adjust everything. In my dining room, I have a big mirror, so that makes it really helpful. That's what I'm looking at. And I'm just kind of pulling everything, making all these straps are out wide. It's just more comfortable for me, I found. And she's all snug, ready to go. I'll bounce her a few times, and she usually falls asleep within 5 to 10 minutes after this. I make sure I change her diaper too. And like I said, you can tuck their feet in, just pull that below their feet. She doesn't really like that, especially when she's awake. And once she does fall asleep, I will tuck her little head in here, making sure I switch sides each time I wrap her, whether she has her little face on the right or left. I make sure I can kiss her, there's nothing blocking her airway, and she's good to go. Okay, so the other wrap that I have that I really like is the Boba wrap. This is the one I have 2 of. It's very stretchy and it fits better coverage. This is the one I like to wear out and about, and you put it on the exact same way. You find that middle tag, you put that over your bust, you swing one strap over your back, and then you kind of adjust the panel like you can see I'm doing here. And I'm making that X or cross with the shoulder straps over your back. And I'm going to just grab all the fabric, shove that down over that front panel, same exact way we did the Soli wrap. And this is where you get your fit. So this one has a lot more pull. There's a lot of spandex in it, which is nice. I think this was easier for me to do as a first-time mom trying to figure out how to wrap than the Soli baby, which doesn't have a lot of spandex or give to it. So you make that X in the front, then you're going to take those 2 pieces, flip them around the back. You can tie it here in the back if you want to, or I personally just don't like a knot in the back when I'm doing things, so I bring it around in the front. And you can see that there's a lot more, not fabric in length, but fabric in width. So it is a little bit warmer to wear, especially with the baby. I don't really like this one in the summer that much. But I also find that I don't have to do too much adjusting right now before I put the baby in. I just stretch these ones out, pull that band down a little bit, and loosen up these straps so I can get baby in here. And again, I'm going to put her on my left side first. So I'm going to put her over my right hand shoulder. And I shove my hand into that strap, pull it down, and put a little bum in there and stretch that out from the back of one knee to the other. And then I'm going to stick her little leg in to the other side and do the exact same thing. Stretch that band out over her little bum from the back of her knee to the back of her knee. And then I kind of just adjust her in the middle if she got from one side to the other. And pull that big panel over her legs and stretch it all the way up. Okay, and then lastly, to take them out, this is the way I take her out. You can take baby out with leaving the wrap completely still on and tied, but I always untie it every single time because this is usually when I'm feeding her or doing something else. So I just untie it. She's still pretty snug in there. I always have one of my hands on her, and I kind of just reverse her out. So I pull her feet out from that band, And then I like to just pull the straps out. If I do this quietly enough, sometimes I can lay her down and she can continue sleeping, but in this case I wanted to change her. So then I just kind of pull her out, lay her down, let her stretch, and she's out. So thank you so much for watching. If you like videos like this, give me a thumbs up so I know. Subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you so much for watching.